Okay, hello friends. It's been such a long time since I've caught up with you guys, but I hope you all are doing so well. It's been a lot of life changes. It's been a lot. Life has been lifing the past few months, but I wanted to come on here and chat, catch up with you guys, and obviously show you a little bit of exciting new things that are going on around me. So grab your coziest drink. Today I am drinking some yerba mate in this beautiful glass tumbler that I got at work. So grab your favorite drink and let's get into it. So probably the biggest life change we've had is we got a new puppy. And honestly, come here, Celeste. Hi, baby. Thank you so much. She's such a little love bug. Her name is Celeste. We've had her for probably 4 or 5 months. She's 7 months now, and she's just a little sweetheart. But I do feel like anytime you introduce a new being into your family, into your life, it is just very overwhelming. So it took me quite a while to get back into the swing of things after getting Celeste, and we got her at 8 weeks, and our lives have just changed dramatically. So that's been taking up a lot of my time recently, but I've also been focused on TikTok. And when I first joined BookTube, I was like, I'm not joining BookTok. I don't really care about that. But I found a great community in BookTok, and so I have been spending a lot of time posting and creating over there on that app. But I do want to get back to more long form videos because that is where I started and that is what I love to do. So recently I got these beautiful bookcases put in, and if you watch my first ever BookTube video, I talked about this like space that I had in my bedroom that was just not good, and I had a sad little bookcase over here and like books piled up all around the house. And so finally we got professional people to come in and build us some beautiful bookcases here, and I'm sitting in front of them. And as I was putting up all of my books, these got done last week, and as I was putting them up, I was like, oh my gosh, I have some really pretty books. So I kind of just want to do a little show and tell with you guys today and show you some of my beautiful books, and let's talk about them. Some of them I've read, some of them I've recently got. So we'll just do a little show and tell and talk about them. Kind of adjust you a little bit so you can see the whole vibe of this little area. And one day I'll come on and do more of a book case tour, little book reading corner tour. But today we're going to talk about pretty books. So the first book I want to chat about is arguably the prettiest book I own. This is the Spellshop by Beth Durst. And I just got this recently. This is just such a beautiful cover. So first of all, we've got a little cottage here, probably nestled in a beautiful forest. We've got the lilac text on the cover, and then we've got lilac sprayed edges. How pretty is that? So I picked this up at my favorite local bookshop, and then of course I had to get a little handmade bookmark to go with it because duh. And this book, I'm pretty excited to read it, and I've seen a lot about it recently on BookTok, but it's about a librarian who lives in this world where only certain people can practice magic. And she is not one of those people because she's just a regular human. Like only certain witches, wizards, whatever, can practice magic. And there's a rebellion or something is going on, and her library gets burned down, but she saves some of the text and guides to practicing magic, and she flees to this little cottage that's nestled in this woods, and she starts practicing magic, and she's not supposed to, but she opens a jam shop, and it's kind of the front to her spell shop. So it sounds very cozy. Obviously that first part didn't sound very cozy, but I think that's only like this much of this book. So the rest of it sounds really cozy, and I cannot wait to read it. It's on my fall, I made a little fall reading list because we're in July and I'm just so over the heat and I'm just ready for it to be fall. So I picked this up and it immediately got bumped up to like #1 on my fall reading list, which I'll probably start in the end of August. Next we have, which is kind of in the same area, we have The Honey Witch, and I have seen this everywhere. A lot of my friends have already read it. I don't really know what it's about, but I do love the cover. It's kind of similar to the Spellshop, like similar vibes, but a little different. So we have lots of flowers in this beautiful mansion that's tucked away. It looks like it's kind of hard to get to. Maybe you need a key. Maybe you have to do some spell to get into it. I don't know. I'm making shit up. I'm making shit up right now, but it's a really pretty cover and I just loved it. So as soon as I saw the book on Book Talk, I was like, I don't even care what it's about. The cover's just beautiful, so I must read it. Okay, so I just read a little bit of the back, and it's about a witch who maybe is trying to convince someone who doesn't believe in magic that magic exists. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great read because the cover is beautiful, which I know is so naive for me to say, because a lot of times that's not the case, but I just have hope for The Honey Witch. Okay, so we've talked a lot about books in my fantasy YA section, so I'm gonna pop over to my fiction section, just general fiction over here, and we're gonna talk about Hello Beautiful. As the name says, this book is beautiful, and I loved this book. I loved the cover. The cover drew me to this book because it is just gorgeous. I love all the colors. I read this. This was one of the first books I read this year, and it's about 4 sisters who are just living life. So it's kind of like Little Women. It's just family drama. One of the sisters gets married to this basketball player and it follows their life, but big family twist, and I'm not gonna spill it, happens later, and it's just kind of following their life, and it's so beautifully written. So I'm gonna pop back over here to fantasy because I kind of forgot about Brandon Sanderson, and this is Tress. So the cover's not like, you know, amazing. I think it's fine, but what I really loved about this book is the inside. I feel like a lot of times authors kind of forget about this part. And so Tress loves cups. She's always talking about cups in there. So we have little cups for Tress, and then this beautiful art right here. I thought this was so pretty, and it really gave me kind of a sense of what I was reading in the world, since, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to get into the world of a book. But I thought the art was so beautiful on the inside. And then we have the same thing on the back. Tress was another one of my favorites that I read. Maybe it was this year. I think it was this year actually. And Tress works for a very powerful family in her world, and she's kind of falling in love with their son. Well, they send their son off to get married, and he doesn't want to marry that person because he wants to marry Tress. They're in love with each other, duh. So he gets sold to a witch or something. I don't know. She's not really a witch, but she's like a goddess or something. And Tress sets out to rescue him from this crazy witch lady, goddess lady, whatever. Probably not explaining that right, but it's fine. So yes, that's what the story follows. It's the first kind of like ship lore type book that I've read, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I really like Brandon Sanderson. Over here, back to general fiction, and we have The Poison Bed, which I've talked about, I believe, on this channel before. But look at this cover. It is giving historical fiction. It is giving period piece. It is giving scandal. It's giving who murdered who. Like, we've got all kinds of things on here, and I gotta admit, I did buy this because of the cover, because it was so intriguing to me. Like, someone's maybe trapped, kind of like this little thing that's trapping this other thing. How do you like that for adjectives? This thing that's trapping this dress, maybe this woman is trapped, but also there's pearls, there's lots of elements here. I haven't read it yet, maybe sometime soon, but I think the cover's really beautiful. Like I said, bought it because of that, and it's just like, there's a lot of different pieces to this cover that made me curious on what the book was going to be about. Okay, this next one, I kind of forgot about this, but I got this in Colorado last year. This is a collection of Robert Frost poems, and I just love the little leaves. It's giving fall, and we have some decollage pages here. I thought this was so pretty, so that's why I bought it, which is the theme of this video. But I have read a few, and there's a lot of good poems in here that I like by Robert Frost, like some of his most famous, and then others that I didn't even know he wrote but had heard before. Okay, another one that I completely forgot I had, even though I just organized this bookshelf, is this book of poems by Halsey. And I was very impressed with Halsey. I did not know all of the things that she had gone through in her life, so it was good enlightenment for me and her story. But I do love this little like pop art-y type cover going on here. Lots of elements here. It's an up close picture. I haven't researched what it's maybe supposed to be, but it definitely drew me in. But that is I Would Leave Me If I Could by Halsey. Quite a sad story, but very well written. You would think romance has more pretty covers, but I just don't feel like a lot of them do. Oh, I just started Shatter Me. I started it really like 3 weeks ago, and I told myself I would finish reading the rest of the series like during fall, because that's like, you know, dystopian, and I wanted to get through my Emily Henry books, which I spent the month of July reading Emily Henry, and I do have some thoughts. I do love Emily Henry. I love the way she writes. I love how diverse all her characters are. Each one is a completely different person, which is how it should be, but they all seem like they can exist in the same world. So I just love that about her writing. But anyways, I started the Shatter Me series, and one of the books, I really like the cover, but I can't remember which one. So let's try and figure that out. And it's the first one I picked. So this one's Ignite Me. I did love the beautiful flowers. Like, I obviously think flowers are beautiful, so anything that has flowers that are well done. And then of course we have decollage pages. It immediately elevates the book, in my opinion, if you put some decollage pages on there. It's all subjective, people. I really think that kind of concludes my prettiest book tour situation. I'm gonna get on here someday soon and do a full bookshelf tour once I kind of have this whole area put together, because right now it's kind of like pieces. Like, this part is nice, but then the part that I'm looking at over there, not nice. So once that's all done, I'll come on here, give you guys a little tour. But let me know what you're reading. Let me know your thoughts. I'm very, very, very excited to read the Spellshop, because I've just seen so many good things about the book, and it feels just so cozy. And I've really like elevated my reading IQ lately, so I hope that all comes together. But I hope you are all so well, and thanks for being here, and thanks especially if you're still here now. I will talk to you very, very soon on a new video.